Hey everyone, welcome back to Google Workspace Recap, where we review everything new to Workspace every week. My name is Jesse Nolan, my co-host is Steve Larson, and we're here to help you keep up. I was in Vegas yesterday for a client visit, and I must be allergic to Vegas because I came down with a big head cold, so I apologize for sounding gravelly and nasally, and yeah. That being said, I was sitting on the runway, getting ready for takeoff, watching Apple's Scary Fast event on my phone, hoping that they would, move it along so that I could see it before I went up in the air because I'm too cheap to pay $8 for Southwest Wi-Fi for a 40-minute flight. Luckily, the event itself was, in fact, scary fast, and it was over with about a few minutes to spare before takeoff, and I sat there maddeningly, rapidly refreshing the page on Safari, or Chrome rather, for the Apple Store on my phone, and it updated, and I nabbed one of the first brand new M3 MacBook Pros to upgrade my setup over here because I have been hitting the limits of the M1 Pro that I got back then, which was just the entry-level model. This time I got the M3 Pro processor upgraded and increased to 36 gig of RAM, so I am super excited for that.
Yeah, an interesting number there too, 36 gig there, right?
Yeah, we were talking about this a little bit before the show. 36 is 18 and 36 instead of 16 and 32 now. Mm-hmm. So you had a good theory about that, Steve. Go ahead.
Yeah, well, I think it's because of the unified memory usage, right? I think the M1s and the M2s were, it takes some of the RAM there for, I think it was for the video display, right?
Yeah, it's unified memory, so there's a lot more swapping that takes place as opposed to other more dedicated systems.
Yeah, so I think the two lower end tiers now are a little bit increased from 16 and 32, right? With 18 and 36, like you said. And
I was reading on their website.
Oh, did you checked it?
I looked it up. So I was reading on the website, and it confirms that on the higher tiers, it's more dedicated RAM exclusive to those applications. So,
yeah. Mine is 64, so I'm doing all right.
Yeah, I think you're good for a little while here. Yeah, so that's the thing is like if this is going to be on a and like we said, what was it last week, talking about how quickly we get used to crazy fast speeds now feeling slow, just based on my workload has definitely changed and increased in capability to match, but also apps and websites continue to push the bar of what's possible and use up more resources simply because they're there. We went to the moon on less processing power than is in my Apple Watch by a long shot. So of all of NASA combined at the time. So we went from the massive jump to the M1 to now it's like whatever.
Yeah, it's like buying a bigger house. You just keep filling it with more and more stuff. It's just never an ending battle. Like faster processors, faster software. You got to keep pace there. Big some Apple updates there. We also had some other unfortunate updates happening.
Well, that I love threaded replies, but I have to say I'm in your camp at this exact moment because what is that?
I know it's horrible. So our space that we have for for the podcast here. Was on the classic threads, of course, and they got upgraded and changed, and every single thread that we had broke. So there's now just this, garbage dump of conversations that happened in the past, and you have no idea where things were happening and, what was part of what conversation and thread, and it does say begin new topic, and I'm saying if they had the capacity to differentiate and say begin new topic. Yeah. Begin new topic now is fine, but I'm talking about the old stuff. It broke all of the old threads we had, right? And it just put it in chronological order. So if I had commented on something that was from a thread that was 3 months ago, it has it in the middle of the thread that it's a mess.
That's even worse. Well, I would have wanted that
really
where
bad.
It says begin new topic, turn that into a thread, or if we had commented on it, then be able to link back to it like you can in thread. I don't know.
Oh, wait a minute. Okay, wait a minute. I'm looking more closely here. Sorry. So, I see these line breaks here. Begin new thread topic. So that was okay. So it did break it up.
Yeah, well, the machine just went haywire, so this is why I need a new computer. Go on, Steve.
All right, so I think just had a little break there in the recording, but as we were saying, the threading. Okay, so looking back here, looking at this now, is begin new topic does have it broken out into these visual threads, but it's not like the consolidated or condensed threading that you would have now if you wanted to start a new thread.
Right, and that's what I was trying to say, is that they should have taken, if they are able to note it as a new topic, then dump everything in that topic into a thread with the header. That's how we've been using it. That's where we said, hey, this is this great new system. Let's use it this way to be able to organize everything. In the first line of the topic, put your title, put it in bold, and then start your conversation. That's a freaking thread topic. Like, party foul.
So it's just visually though, it just looks like one big dump, and but anyways,
it's definitely jarring. I think it'll very quickly move on from this, but I think that anybody who has a lot of people that are moving over, and granted, I put tabGeeks at the front of the line because I wanted to see what this was going to look like, but I think that anybody who has a big organization, you're welcome. Well, I knew you were never going to upgrade, so one of us had to. But anybody who has a huge org that's doing this, be prepared, be forewarned. And Googlers, if you're listening, we'd be happy to talk about this more at length and maybe go into what and how and why, and maybe
we tried it next to talk to a few of them, but all right. So that's what's happening there.
Well,
pretty quiet week in updates generally.
Happy Halloween to those who celebrate. Steve's in his Superman shirt.
I have my Superman outfit on.
Superman. Very nice. Very nice. I'm just in my new YouTube shirt, which side is there we go, YouTube. The YouTube logo in there. And Steve has a blizzard, and I'm sitting and sweating over here in 86
degrees.
I
did.
So.
I did have a blizzard, and now it is sunny skies and clear. Yeah,
it blew itself out.
Yeah. All right. Let's look at the updates we have. I guess this week, right?
3.
Jump into those, 3 of them. Yeah. One that came out at the end of the week there as a silent release, which is the ability to add a new 2-page view for PDFs in the Google Drive app for larger Android devices. And kind of a complement, I think, to what we talked about the other week, right? There was that different view for Gmail with the Android devices for the attachments and previews. Then also we had 2 updates here. Changes to the YouTube player being embedded within Google Workspace for Education Services. Some things we'll tell you about that. And then there's a new, updated, and more inclusive emoji picker in Gmail. I think
Steve's favorite.
I think the number of updates, I think my stance on emojis, but that has changed for the Gmail app. That's all the updates that came out on Workspace. Then we have a couple others that also happened with Drive for Desktop. Version 83 came out there, fixing some of those Mac OS 14 bugs that we had reported before the other week. And the Google Meet hardware devices had a new some new firmware come out just yesterday, it looks like. So we'll give you a little rundown of what those changes are. And then Chrome has got another update. They are now on version 119, and a few things have changed in the admin console for you to be aware of there. A few Chrome OS policies, as well as some regular, just standard Chrome policies that you'll have access to now. And then just one item here in the news, Google is committing to $2 billion in funding to the AI startup Anthropic. So a lot of money and things flowing into AI, as we all know.
Should say additional $2 billion.
Oh, it's additional. Okay. So on top of what they've already committed. So this is a top up here. All right. There we go. All right, jumping into the updates. The first one there was the 2-page view for PDFs in Google Drive app on the Android devices. So that is going to give you that ability to kind of look at kind of either a single page width or a 2-page width when you're viewing and scrolling through PDFs in the Drive app on those larger format Android devices.
And for those of you,
Android tablets or foldables, yeah.
For those of you who are driving down the road listening to our show as a podcast, those sirens are in Steve's background, not your background.
Not yours.
Don't worry.
Yeah. Lots of sirens here in the city. All right. That update is available now to all Workspace customers and those with personal accounts. It'll be coming to everyone very soon. Next update we have here is that there are now changes to the YouTube player that's embedded within Google Workspace Education Services. So the embedded player has a new URL. So this has a new URL now, YouTubeEducation.com. To serve embedded content within the Google Workspace for education services. So just for education. So it's not going to be affecting non-education domains. So if you need to block or allow, certain content, well, just YouTube content in general, you are now going to have this kind of new unique URL to help tailor that to your organization. So YouTubeEducation.com. That can be added to allow or block lists as needed. There's some other things here that we're also removing the feature. Removing this feature will evaluate performance and quality. Let's see, removing this feature. If you've updated or allow block list to be YouTube, you'll need to revert your allow or block list to include YouTube.com as soon as possible to preserve the way your organization uses YouTube videos within the Google Workspace Educations. Let's see here. I'm just trying to read through this here. The new URL is YouTubeEducation.com, or the new one, they're removing that? So I'm trying to understand what this update is. Can you admins revert your allow block list to include YouTube.com? That is the action that they're suggesting here. Are you following this exactly, Jesse, in this update?
I'm trying to grab it. 1 second.
If you do not revert your allow or block list to include YouTube.com as soon as possible, this could change your organization's access to YouTube videos. Revert, okay. Yeah, so back in June, there was a new update that included a URL, YouTube Education, right? As a result, if your organization allowed or blocked YouTube videos within Google Workspace for Education Services, you were asked to add that. Yeah, okay. That preserved the way your organization used YouTube videos. Yeah, makes sense. We are removing this feature while we evaluate performance and quality. So they're removing this feature. So they're removing the URL? Is that what it sounds like to you?
This is very confusing.
Right.
It's an immediate next step. If you updated it to include YouTube, you'll need to revert to include your allow block list.
Yeah, so that's what it sounds like to me. So it sounds like YouTubeEducation.com is being removed as the URL in the education domains. Not added, so it's being removed. That's what it looks like to me.
Admins, revert your allow list / block list to include YouTube.com.
Yeah.
So basically, they're getting rid of YouTubeEducation.com.
That's what it sounds like, yep. As we evaluate performance and quality issues. Okay. Looks like this is taking effect it's already taking effect with the classroom services, and then it'll be impacting slides, sites, and forums starting on the 7th of November.
So this means what? That kids are going to have now full access to YouTube?
Well, I think it's just that the unique URL that they could have used for YouTube education within those classroom slides, sites, and forum services is just now reverting back to the standard YouTube. So you can't differentiate between content that is served within those 4 services on education domains versus standard YouTube content. So it's going to be one and the same. Yep.
Interesting.
That's what it looks like here. Yeah, I'm sure the education admins will be more familiar with what this is rather than us, given that we did not have to really deal with this ourselves personally. But that is going to impact all the education environments, and yeah, that's what's changing there. All right.
Okay.
There we go. The next final update we have is that the more inclusive emoji picker in Gmail. So that will give you more options to choose what style of emoji you are going to want to include in your Gmail responses there. Pretty straightforward in terms of what that is, but you'll be able to click that little drop down and select one of 6 different types of emoji for the same icon there. That is rolling out to wrap release domains starting the 25th of October on a gradual 15-day rollout. Also, the similar kind of rollout pace there with up to 15 days for visibility will happen on the 13th of November for scheduled release domains, and this will hit all Workspace and personal Google accounts. Next,
are they just not doing this in Gmail, or I don't use Android full time?
Yeah,
I think you can do this on the web.
Yeah, I think this is the web version of Gmail is where this is seeing the specific update here. So whether or not it was available in other apps and other ways, but this is specific to the web version of Gmail here. Yep.
Okay.
Yep. Yep. So yeah, it might have been mobile devices had this already, but this is now hitting the web for Gmail.
I believe also chat has had it for a while.
Yeah. Let's see here. Checking out chat emojis. Yeah. No, I don't have. Oh wait. Oh, there we go. Yeah, I do. Yeah, I do have it. I think I do have it.
So it's just the Gmail picker then.
Yeah, Gmail web on the web. Yep. Yeah, because I've got it on chat here on Android, so that works.
Same.
All right. Next we have that update coming to the Drive for Desktop client. This is version 83 rolling out, and that fixed an issue with the macOS 14 release where users could only start the Drive app once per macOS login session. And then there's some other random bug fixes and performance improvements. And there is that little note here about recommending that update for best macOS compatibility. They recommend that you wait until Sonoma 14.1 before upgrading to macOS Sonoma. And that was the issues I think that we saw where files were getting moved around and things like that. So I think we are on 14.1 now. So just I'm on 14.1. So that's rolled out. Check and make sure that you have 14.1 on your device. But
yeah, 14.1 I got as well. Yeah. I do not have the Drive update yet though, so hopefully I get that soon.
Yeah, because when did that come out? That was 7 days ago, 8 days ago. So yeah, Drive for Desktop sometimes has a very unusual rollout pace.
Yeah, for sure. And sometimes I get it right away, and sometimes it just takes a while. I'm on 82.0.1.0, and they're up to 83. So
yeah, I don't have it open right now, so I'm not going to check because that'll probably cause some delay.
Cause your files to start disappearing?
I don't know. Yeah, I mean, no, just like just as we're recording, I don't want it to boot up while I'm recording.
No, for sure.
All right, Meet Hardware. There's an update there on the production stable release. Chrome OS version, the M108 has a new release here. This started yesterday, or the release was yesterday. There's some firmware updates with the Series 1 equipment. So that is the camera now has a new firmware there. Some camera intelligence was added to the Series 1 hardware, the board 65, desk 27, and the room kits. So in there, that's some of the new stuff. And then there's some general stability improvements and security patches that were fixed. And there are a couple known issues here that they report, that cameras are occasionally dropping frames during meetings on the Series 1 room kits, and that appears as a video stutter. Working on that. And then also with the Series 1 room kit cameras, they're also occasionally disconnecting. So the workaround for that one is to reboot the system. And they're also going to continue to kind of investigate the root cause of that one. But it sounds like some very annoying known issues right there on the Series 1 equipment at the moment. Yeah, whoops indeed. Next is that we have a new Chrome release rolling out. Version 119 is coming out very soon. I think let me just peek around the corner here. I am on 119. I think that was my reset that I just did before I started. So I'm on 119 now. There are, what is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 new updates. 9 new updates here in the admin console. Some of these are primarily for the Chrome OS platform rather than just Chrome browser in general. It looks like we have four of them for Chrome, and then 5 of them for Chrome OS. So some shared images for video decoder allowed, setting there with Chrome OS, another drive file sync being available or not. Also, let's go through the Chrome OS policies first. And then you have show display size screen enabled, show touchpad scroll screen enabled, and device ephemeral network policies enabled. So those are the Chrome OS policies that are now available in the Emma console. And then the 4 Chrome policies is that you have safe browsing, deep scanning enabled, profile separation data migration settings, profile separation domain exception list, and profile separation settings. And I think that's something that I hinted at before as one of the upcoming policies that you'll be seeing in Chrome. So that is that's all the updates for you this week. And then Jesse, you've got one for you to go through the news here.
Yeah, we were commenting before the show how the short shows, all of a sudden we get more into the, more into the rest of the updates that we miss out some of the other times. So this would have been a 10-minute show, but you got more information on, the other releases that we sometimes leave out, such as Chrome OS and Meet and other things like that. So good to catch up and get those snuck in as well. Sorry, just had a coughing fit there. The one piece of news that we have here is that Google commits $2 billion in funding to AI startup Anthropic. If you're not familiar with Anthropic is to Google what ChatGPT is to Microsoft, whereas it's the very large AI external company, but heavily invested development company that they're working with, that they partnered with. Anthropic has their chatbot called Claude, not to be confused with Bard. And obviously Microsoft has ChatGPT integrated into all of their things in Bing search and whatnot. But essentially here, Google has agreed to invest $2 billion into Anthropic, and that is in addition to its earlier $550 million investment earlier this year. As you may have heard, investing and building out AI infrastructure and data sets and so on is very expensive, so this makes a lot of sense. The interesting thing here is that the investment follows a separate commitment from Amazon, which said last month that they were also going to invest $4 billion into Anthropic. If you're not familiar, Anthropic was founded by former OpenAI engineers in 2021 because they didn't like the way that OpenAI, aka ChatGPT, was approaching development for AI in a safe way, and so they left and they started Anthropic, and that's where we are today. The interesting thing here is that Amazon and Google are investing in this company, and I was kind of asking the question, why didn't Google buy them outright? Like, Google obviously knew that they had to make a big play back in the day. I mean, obviously it's faster to move if you just invest. You can say, okay, we're going to do this deal and you're going to run on Google Cloud, and that's, the same way that Microsoft did their deal with ChatGPT, that ChatGPT stuff runs on Azure. But essentially, Google could have just outright bought the company. So maybe it's an antitrust play, maybe it's a speed play, but now you've got Amazon, who has relatively little talked about in terms of AI and generative AI and what they're doing with their products. A little bit of that information started to come out recently of what they're doing, but for the most part here, they've been relatively quiet on this front, but they invested $4 billion here, so that's not so quiet. That's a pretty big deal. So some interesting things here. Just one last thing here. Anthropic has signed a multi-year deal with Google Cloud worth more than $3 billion. The contract was signed a few months before the new investment. So a lot of money flowing here. Not entirely sure what the total number is going to come to when this round is done and everybody is done over here. But some serious cash flowing in here to develop new models. Go ahead, Steve.
Just you threw on the two numbers there, where I guess what Anthropic is committing to use GCP, right, and spend there. So they basically just swap some money around, right? It's like, you give me $2 billion, I'll give you $3 billion. Pretty much, yeah. I mean, that's taken from the weapons manufacturing deals. Is the United States gives aid to other countries on condition that they buy the weapons from the United States. So it's not a new play by any metric there.
But yeah, it's the space is continuing to run and to heat up and to build, and I'm very happy that I have stock in both AMD and in NVIDIA, because their chips are just flying off the shelves like crazy, as they are basically what a lot of these systems are running on. That being said, Google has their own chip for this, so we'll see where that goes as well. Anything else on the topic, Steve?
Not for me. No. Quick.
All right, then. I'm going to give my voice a rest. Short and sweet here. Hopefully the little blip that we had in the beginning where my microphone decided it didn't want to work anymore, and why I need a new MacBook Pro over here does not disrupt the show too much. I'll fix that in editing. But thank you all for coming back every single week for Workspace Recap. We appreciate you. If you have any questions or comments, drop them on the comment section of the video down below, or hit us up on our website, workspacerecap.com, or Twitter if you're still on that said website, Workspace Recap. Have a great week, and we'll see you next time.